Hey, welcome to another episode of the Rock Fantasy Files. I'm your host, Stephen Keeler, of course. I sit down with a band that I got sent over to me. They're here from Sweden, and a good friend of mine, Peter Frank, who's been to my store. It's a Swedish resident and a pinball aficionado, came to my store years ago playing in a big championship here, and he wanted to come to my shop. He reached out to me a couple weeks ago and said, "Hey, I'd like you to talk to Void Commander, this band." And I got to listen to him a little bit in the last few days, of course, knowing I was going to interview you guys. And welcome to the show. We're going to talk about their band and get some info and try to spread the word of what they're doing over in Sweden. And welcome to the show, guys. And please introduce yourselves and let us know where you're chatting to us from today.
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Linus, and I play the bass, and I sing a little in the band Void Commander.
Yeah, my name is Bobby, and play guitar and sing.
Excellent. And where are you guys from? You're in Sweden right now?
Personally, I'm in the big city of Jämjö. It's called. It's a small town. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
And what about you, Bobby? Where are you at?
Well, I'm out in the deep woods of Svensjö, it's called.
Okay.
So it's outside of Karlskrona.
Excellent. So let's talk about Void Commander. It looks like you just recently released a song called "I'm Drowning." I listened to it on Spotify. I'm here in the United States. I don't have any of your stuff in physical copy yet, but do you have a full release coming out in 2022? This is something supporting that?
Yes, it's a radio edit version of the song "I'm Drowning," because our songs are like 7 to 8 minutes long.
Okay.
So we have a full release that was released in February.
Okay.
Yeah, so February of last year. What year is it?
So this is a radio edit from the last album.
Yeah, from Riverlord.
Riverlord. Okay, and I was listening to that album. I didn't realize that song was on the album because I'm new to the band, like a lot of our viewers probably are also. And so let's talk about the latest album.
Yeah. Yes, the latest album was recorded in Växjö, Sweden. It's a pretty small place, a couple of hours from here, and it's all live recorded, so we play all the instruments at once. So that's our kind of thing to live record our albums.
Okay.
I mean, the Corona thingy have made it very hard for us to tour on the album. So
yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's the wrong kind of Corona, not the beer. So someone's watching this for the first time. Let's hear a little bit about the band. Maybe what style of music would you guys classify yourself as? I will give my rundown. Listening to you for the first time, it reminded me a lot of the American band The Sword. In that vein, I can hear some maybe in my mind like some Graveyard, fellow Swedish band, and maybe even some like Orchid, maybe some like Sabbathy stuff, of course, in the band. And maybe I'll get your take on it, what your influences are and how you describe your band sound.
Well, I mean, it's stoner rock, doom-ish, but mixed up with we got lots of different influences in the band. So I like listen a lot to old blues and the Allman Brothers and Southern rock and all that kind of stuff. So it's
that's cool.
stoner rock in the heart, but it takes you to other places too.
The album Riverlord, where did the name of that album come from? Is there a meaning behind that? And is there any kind of a theme that some of the songs go about? Any tales or stories that you portray in some of the songs? If you want to go over a couple of the tracks from the album, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, our the album title, the first track is called Riverlord, and I think it comes from it's a place called Skåne in Sweden. It's south of Sweden. They have something called mär, and it's a horse that picks up people that has drowned in the river.
Oh,
Kind of. Yeah, so I think that's where it's originated from.
okay. And are there any other singles or anything from this release? Have you got any videos that we could check out?
We don't have any videos from this one.
Okay.
We have a couple of live videos on YouTube.
Okay.
And we do have, or we are working on music videos for this album.
Okay. What? Any other tracks you want to go over from the Riverlord record? Anything that sticks out from you, or maybe part of a live set? If you get to do some live sets, some of the songs you think, well, we're going to play these live and feature them in a live performance.
Yeah, I think the live performances we have come together as this and decided that we play 2 songs from our first album, 2 songs from the middle album, and yeah, the last song is always going to be a new one up until next year, I believe.
Okay. Let's hear a little bit about the history of the band. You guys mentioned you had a couple albums. Let's go over the discography and how long the band's been around. How's that?
Yeah, so the first album is called Shrooming Widow. It's from 2018. I hadn't really joined the band when it was written, so I think maybe Bobby can tell us a thing or two about it.
Okay.
Yeah, well, some of the songs from the first album was songs that I've had since a couple of years before a Void Commander, and sort of very old songs that we had played for a very long time, and then didn't have a bass player for a while, and Linus joined the band when we began to record that album, and we did it at my place, actually, in my house. So it's pretty cool. I'm pretty proud of that we could do the first album all by ourselves.
Cool. And what's the name of the second album?
The second album is self-titled, so it's only Void Commander.
Okay.
I think that we brought in some fresh blood into it, because the first album was more of a doomish kind of underground sound, like Electric Wizard,
Okay.
kind of stoner metal. And then I met Bobby, and Bobby made me start to listen to Humble Pie and Small Faces, and
Okay.
yeah, now everything has to be rock and roll instead of pure stoner metal.
Okay. Hey, Bobby, so what are some of your influences? What caused you to pick up an instrument and start playing this style of or metal in general, or hard rock?
Well, actually, I started off as more old school rock and roll, rockabilly things. So it was 50s rock and roll, and it wasn't until I was maybe 20, 21 I discovered Sleep, because I listened a bit to Black Sabbath before, and I wanted to discover something that was similar,
Yeah.
Then I accidentally stepped into the stoner doom world, and then I was trapped.
Trapped in the
Uh,
trapped in the world of stoner doom.
yeah.
What about some of your influences, Linus?
I'd say, I mean, I listen to a lot of heavier music, like death metal and black metal, but I also listen a lot to nowadays Humble Pie, Rival Sons.
Rival Sons, yeah, very good band.
The crazy people, crazy good. And I think that, I mean, I've been playing guitar since I was 5 years old, and I don't really remember. Maybe my grandfather was my influence.
Oh,
He taught me. Yeah, I like "Stairway to Heaven" and those kind of
classic.
songs. Yeah, I mean, I maybe could only play 10 seconds of it until I was like 18, but yeah.
Okay, it's good. So what are you guys, any plans for 2022? Do you have another record you're working on? Are you able to do any live gigs right now? And anything else you'd like to tell the viewers about, what your plans are at the moment, guys?
We are in the studio, so
Okay.
we are working, and that's I think what I can say about it right now. But we do have a couple of gigs planned. So we're gonna do Norway in June. It's a gig called Majestic Mountain Record Fest.
Okay.
It's our labels. He turned 50, so he needs to have a festival, and we're gonna play in Gothenburg the 4th of June.
Okay.
And Stockholm. So we have a couple of gigs planned.
And is it the latest album, I guess, is on Majestic Mountain? Is it available on vinyl and compact disc?
It's available on compact disc right now, but
Okay.
the vinyl has sold out. The one I showed you, it's the
Yes.
only one I have left.
The last in line.
Yeah. So the album was actually a 2-split record. So it's also a label called Osium Records from Malmö, Sweden.
Okay.
Both the labels they're very nice guys to work with.
And Majestic Mountain Records sounds familiar. I was just trying to jot down and see what other bands are on that label, because it rings a bell. It really rings a bell to me for some reason.
Yeah, they signed a band called Grand Cadaver.
Yes, I have the Grand Cadaver. Yeah. That's Michael Stahn from Dark Tranquility, of course.
Yeah, so he's an upcoming. It's an it's an heavily upcoming kind of label. It's he writes very quickly.
There's a band from our area here called Mama Doom, I believe is on the label too. And they've been on the channel. They actually live right down, maybe make the next town over. And in fact, I think he's coming to visit me in the shop, the guitar player. So soon, I think anyhow, one of the members of the band is coming by. Him and his wife are the main members of the band. And small world, right?
Yeah, and they're also gonna play the Majestic Mountain Records Fest in
Oh, they're
Norway.
coming over there. Oh, wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you can tell them hi from me.
Small world though, you know, and I just got off a phone with a good friend of mine in New York City, and they just went to see Dark Tranquility. It was in New York City on Saturday night, so I didn't get to go to the event, but a couple of my good friends were at the Dark Tranquility show in Manhattan. So you know, things have opened up pretty good here in the States, knock on wood, fingers
Yeah.
crossed, and a lot of touring going on in the States. A lot of bands from Europe are over here now. I think it's just so much easier to tour here because of the restrictions and everything. It's one country. You get in and you do what you got to do. Like Mayhem is over here now. You know, there's a bunch of Omnium Gathering, of course, from Finland is over here and on tour. Quite a few European bands that I'm near and dear with on the road over here. And we hope people go out and support all those bands when they come around. But I'm glad you guys got some gigs lined up, and I hope I'll put some links into the video and the notes and the video description to how to get in touch with you guys. But if you want to, if you guys are on Facebook, you got Bandcamp or a website or anything to go look for you?
We are everywhere.
Everywhere?
So we are, yeah, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok.
Oh.
Yeah, we are everywhere.
And if someone wants to buy physical copies, the CD is available for the new album, or any of the other albums available on CD or vinyl or anything else?
Yeah, I think that Ozium Records is still selling the compact disc. Yeah.
Excellent. Anything else you guys would like to chat about on the episode?
Yeah, you can tell me a thing or two about your place.
About my story. You want to hear about
Yeah.
me? Okay, I was supposed to find out about you. I have a record store here. It's about 60 miles north of Manhattan, and I've been open for 37 years and heading for 37 in November. And we're a mixture of a record shop, and I'm not in the store now. I'm in my old living room here in my house, but turned into my studio and I call it my bunker. But you know, through the pandemic, I spent many hours in this room. It's where I have all my records. I have a couple of pinball machines, and of course, I know your manager, Peter Frank. He's a pinball player and whatnot, and he came to my store. And that's who set up this interview. But yeah, our store is half record shop. It's a head shop too, so the stoner guys will like it. And we have a bunch of blacklight posters, and I collect them over the years, and I have some of the older ones hanging up in this room. But you know, blacklight posters, pinball machines, vinyl, CDs. You know, we carry every kind of music in the shop, but we are, you know, specialized in the heavier edge of stuff with metal and black metal and, you know, all that stuff, and death metal and thrash metal and all the genres of metal, which we could do an episode for an hour just listing them all. But and you know, I'm a fan of this style of music too. I've seen Graveyard a couple times when they came over to the States. In fact, I was at a Graveyard episode, not an episode, at a concert. I remember it well because I don't know exact year, but it was on a Mother's Day, and I couldn't get anybody to go. My mom was okay. I went to visit her early in the day, and I said, hey, I'm going to go to a concert. So I went to the city, and Graveyard was playing, and Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin was actually at the gig. That's my interesting story in that. Yeah, and like I was walking around, my friend goes, didn't you see who just walked by you? And he was with two like security guards, and I didn't notice. I had a few drinks already anyhow, you know, and was Jimmy Page. And Graveyard put on their website the next day, hey, you know, thank you. Great way to end up North American tour. Sir Jimmy Page came, and he actually bought some of their like merchandise, I think vinyl or whatever. And a good friend of mine that actually his daughter does some vlogs with me on the Sea of Tranquility channel over here in the US, Pete Pardo's channel, Sydney Ann Taylor, her father was there and got a photo with Jimmy Page. And I said, boy, I missed out on that one, but that was my interesting story. But we're hearing more to talk about you than me, because most people know who my butt is already.
Jimmy Page who?
Yeah. So I was brushing shoulders with Jimmy Page, didn't even know.
Uh,
That would have been
Yeah.
cool to grab a photo to put him up in my shop because I like to take photos with the bands, and hopefully you guys get to come over to the United States. Do you have any ideas of coming to the North America to tour?
We have been talking about Texas parts of, but I mean, going on a trip like that, it's very, very expensive.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, so you need to have some kind of backing up management
Yep.
thing in Eager for that to be possible. But you know, that would be a dream.
Yeah, you guys would be
Come.
perfect for like a couple of festivals that go on over here. Something like Psycho Las Vegas, maybe, and stuff like that. And I'll talk about the band. You've got 2 people here. Are there other members in the band?
Yeah, we have a drummer also.
Okay. Let's make sure we include them before they watch it. Go, hey, you didn't even talk about us, guys.
Yeah, I almost forgot.
Are you a 3-piece then?
Yeah, we're a 3-piece.
Okay.
His name is Jimmy, and yeah, he has also been in the band since I was born. No, but since I joined. And I mean, he's a very cool guy. He has a big, what do you call it? He has horses, and
Okay.
he's a farmer. He's an evenings farmer. So yeah, drives tractors and stuff like that.
So he could be on a Jethro Tull album cover, huh?
Yeah, every day.
I was thinking of another band that kind of in this genre that I've seen who I like quite a bit is Cadaver from Germany too. I've got to see them in the States a couple times. Yeah. So
But
well, anyhow, I'm glad we didn't leave out the drummer, because that would have been a mistake. You guys would have gotten more trouble than me because you guys are in a band with them. You didn't mention me, but
yeah. But I think that apart from all this that we have going on, we are adding a acoustic version of "I'm Drowning."
Okay.
To the B side of the single, the radio edit, and also an acoustic video on the song.
Okay.
It's coming soon.
Excellent.
As they say.
Well, we'll have to be on the lookout. Void Commander, everyone, please go check them out. They're on Spotify. They got some stuff on YouTube, and they ask, like Linus said, they're all over the place. So you can find them on your favorite, I guess, social media or whatever, World Wide Web, and please go check them out. We need to all support, metal and rock and roll in these times, because things are not back to normal by any means. I mean, they're kind of, but gosh, it seems like one thing upon another. Pandemics, now we got conflicts. It's just, you guys are so close, and my prayers and positive vibes go out to all of our viewers in Europe, and being so close to this horrible thing going on over there. So our hearts go out to our European viewers and everyone around the world. It's just a hell of a shit show we're living through, but I guess we're still living, so it's good.
Yeah, take it day by day.
Yeah, that's all you can do, and we hope to catch you guys here in North America, or viewers over in Europe that can go get to these gigs. Please go out and check them out, and I look forward to checking out some of the new music you guys are working in the studio, and we'll see if I can get a couple of your CDs in my actual brick and mortar store, at Rock Fantasy. Check them out. I try to get some music from all the bands we interview on the channel in the store, because somebody may watch this locally and say, hey, I'd like to check them guys out, or please check them out and support the Void Commander. And where did the name Void Commander come from? Is that something you could answer, Bobby?
Yeah, it's actually the drummer Jimmy had the idea for Void Commander. I think it's a little inspired by the Black Sabbath song Into the Void.
Okay.
So some kind of
When I heard Void Commander, I immediately thought of Into the Void. Yes, that's what rang a bell in my brain at least. Okay, so I guess we've covered most of the bases. Anything you'd like to add to before we wrap this episode up?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we have covered almost everything.
Yes. Okay. Well, tell Peter I said hello, and stay metal and stay strong, and see you next time.
Yeah.
Oh, and hit subscribe, hit like, and all that good stuff for our viewers.
Don't forget that. Don't forget that.
And go to their stuff and like and subscribe to their stuff too, please.